let's get on with the actual show. I'm not muted or anything. I'm no good. Let's get on with the actual entertainment, education, edutainment. You brick it, you buy it. I'm doing my best not to brick it, but every time I like reach down to change my headphone amp settings, like I turn it on by accident. My goodness gracious me. To be fair, now that Destiny's crossplay, well, you know what I'm saying? Destiny's crossplay. Also, fun fact about the man I don't know. I bought a copy of Fear Effect 2, Reverse Helix. I think that's what it's called. And I bought it a few weeks ago, and when I buy a game, I just assume people have packed it correctly. You know, I assume that when it's advertised as a game, it's a game that I can buy and then later enjoy on the console of choice, be that a Turbo PS1 or a regular PS1 or a PS2 or a Turbo PS2 or a PS3. Not a PS4, though, unfortunately. Not yet. But I opened it up last night. It's only 3 discs. It's a 4-disc game. I've paid £12 for that. Do you know how much they are on eBay? Like, it'd be fine maybe if it said 1 disc missing on the advert, but the sticker's just like, yeah, no, it's full game, bro. Pay me money. So I'm gonna take it back tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, hey, get the 4th disc, mate. You got the 4th disc for this game. You got the first disc of this game. Anyway, last night I spent 3 hours trying to make a tool which doesn't work, by the way. It kind of gets close. It gets close to working, but it doesn't actually work. You see, there's a little bit of a non-refinement there. Let's just really quickly. I just want to see a divide node on this. Divide by 2. Just show me if it's peaking. Ah, it is. It is. Maybe a little bit peaking. But anyway, it's meant to turn a normal map into a height map. It doesn't quite work. Right now it's using a 0.1% offset, and then it's comparing the difference between the 2 pixels of the overlapped material text. It kind of works, but it also kind of doesn't work, if you know what I mean. So you can see here's the base noise texture that we've got. It's, you know, it's a sphere noise texture. There's this cool thing here which will describe to you actually the positive and negative bias. So this I thought was going to be useful. This I thought was going to be useful, but it's actually not useful. But it's kind of useful. It's kind of useful. So you grabbed all the free stuff, as we did all. Did you get the games as well, Mavis? Anyway, this is kind of useful because it shows you with the sign which direction it's sloped. But at the same time, I was too tired to work out how to actually use that mathematically to determine if we were going up or down. So logically, anything stepping from here to here, right? If the value is a positive red value, it's going to be coming out from the surface, right? And I had this thought in my head, but like just the thought of having to plug in all the different math nodes to get this to work put me to sleep, and I went to sleep. You'll be happy to know. But it's something I think we can do, except for the fact that except for the fact that are you kidding me? You're just gonna leave me out in the dirt when I downloaded Awesome Bump and you don't give it to me? Where is it? Where is it? Is it in my downloads folder? Don't. It is. It's in my downloads folder. Last modified 1st of the 3rd, 2017. But Awesome Bump actually has a feature for translating a normal map into a height map, so apparently I was doing more legwork than I needed to do because I already have the tool. So we go to H, recalculate from normal. There it is. That's all you, that one click, and then you just save current image. I cannot believe that I had the tool already available to me. And by this point, I was so tired and I was so disoriented that I've actually forgotten why I needed it. So you tell me. If anyone has a smart idea why I needed a normal map to height map converter, tell me in the comment. I'm pretty sure I had a good reason for it, but now I can't remember what that reason was. So yeah. Now, it is my reckoning that there should be a fluid simulation in this scene, but I can't see it, which worries me intensely. Map check. One warning. Was missing the usage flag. Be used with instant static meshes if the material asset is not resaved. It may not render correctly when run outside the editor. Fix it. So it's obviously not in this map. Oh, wait, no. It's rendering more stuff. I remember it was around here somewhere. Fix it. Yes. That's interesting. It seems to have deleted itself from existence, so I'm not going to bother putting it back in the scene. Good. It was good. What a great experiment it was. I have no interest in seeing it in the game. It's not... Okay, I'll put it this way. If it's not performant on my PC in the editor, it's not going to run on a Switch ever. Ever. Not once. Not in a lifetime. We'll come back to it if we need to refer to it to modeling the geometry of the river. Never thought I'd say those words. Never thought I'd have to come to the point where I was modeling geometry of a river, but here we are. This is obviously a little bit weird, a little bit strange. It's meant to be water. Hold on. Do I have a water material? I do. I have the tropical ocean tool. Under the sea. Under the sea. Whoa. That water. Yeah, so the scale means that it renders a little bit funny, but it is what it is. It's got a lot of white water because it's quite a small mesh in quite a small area and quite a small scale. That's why I was freaking out the first time I dragged it into the level. I had like a plane with it on, and it was I wasn't very happy about that. Anyway, enough about me. What about all these meshes that we have? Have I been through them all? Do I need to go through any more of them? Source mesh is good. Up mount and mounted files. Anyway, Redirector. Are these all redirectors? Huh? Hold on. These all redirectors. Whoop. Berlin, seeing as how you're here, do you approve of the mesh that isn't being rendered here? Oh, what's happened? What's gone on? No. 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 SM mountain bulk pillar. We've changed. Whoop. So I took a small liberty. I took a small liberty, Balint, to. So it's the. How do I explain this? How do I explain this? So it's the original. It's one of the original faces of the pillar. It does need to be re-UV'd because I'm a nugget and I don't know how to do UVs properly. But it's the original mesh. It's the original profile of the pillar. But I used the revolve tool to. Now I know I've been spending all this time removing a lot of detail from the meshes so they can go into the game. But this was unusually a low poly model, so I added more detail to it because it was a pentagon. It looks awesome. Well, I mean, you made it technically. It was a pentagon face thing, which doesn't feel right really in a game zone. It's cool. Well, I love pentagons. Don't get me wrong, but it's meant to be like a round object, right? No, I made it. No, you made it. Technically, the engine made it because it was a revolve operation on an existing mesh face. So I actually destroyed it, and then Unreal Engine built it back up from the ground. It's much less dopey. Ignore the materials. Like the material differences on these are because I'm again a nugget and I don't know how to do UVs. But like, yeah, we'll go to wireframe. So the top is basically the exact same. It's a square, and then I took one of these faces and I used the revolve tool, so it's just nice and smooth now. I think it's 32 faces on the highest poly one, and then you go out and it automatically generates the LODs out to 1,000,000 miles away, and they look great. They look okay. But I just felt like if you were going to be like next to these, you'd want them to be kind of smooth. And you know, the engine can do like, it's not that bad, right? How many triangles is this? The newer version is better. I can probably export it and send it back to you if you want to put it in your render stuff. So this only has nanite triangles, 1466 triangles in the base mesh. And the old one, or in fact in the fallback, it's 318. So we'll open this, which is the one. So the fallback is only 10 triangles less than the fallback, or 10 triangles more than the fallback. But it's a much higher detail model in the final nanite render. And for some reason nanite doesn't work anymore. Don't ask me why. And it looks weird because again, UVs. I'm not a wizard. But that's a change that's gone on. I don't know if it's an improvement, but it was something that bugged me. Also, these I don't know what to do with these. I don't know where the material is. I mean, I'd have to make the material. I don't know where the texture is. Is it this one? I can't do it just with the texture, can I? Vine diffuse. But I tried. It's like Spanish moss. Hold on. I don't know what that is. Hold on. That's pretty intense. Whoa. Good question. Is there any Spanish moss in Megascans? There are not. There are decals. That's not a good sign. It's just that stuff like this, if we browse to it and then we enable nanite, it's gonna have a bad time. It's gonna have a really bad time because it doesn't know really what to do with that. And you're not really meant to enable nanite in foliage; it's not supported yet, which is fine. Just fine. But no worries. You defer to me. Okay. Well, I defer to Panic. There was some on the steps as well, and there was another mesh. I don't know where it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. Panic. I don't know where it's gone. Oh. Did I merge this lad? Oh, did I? The spider webs, by the way, are amazing. Merge 9. Yeah, we merged this lad, so we don't need any of these. I may have done some criminality on the succulent. I'm very sorry. I will try and re-import it and fix it. Are there succulents on bridge, huh? A cheeky little... Show me the sucks. There are cactids. Aloe vera? Hello. And paddle plant. Not so interested in that one, but the aloe vera. You gonna show my information on screen? Lita is allergic to aloe, lol. That's Oh, it just signed me in. It just signed me in. Oh! How'd the emergency room thing go? Is everything okay? By the way. She's doing okay now? Good. Super sick, but now feeling better. Good. I mean, not good that that she's super sick, but feeling better is the good bit. Lots of fluids, ultrasound, medicine helped. Good. Yeah, there was an extra cave plant in here, right? A little lad. Anyway, should probably stop wasting time with this. And actually, I say that. Do you know what I'm gonna do? The cave looks so epic. It will look more epic when it is complete. I think it will look even epic-er. If possible, you'd love a screen grab of it. A screen grab. Oh, this could work. How big of a grab do you need? Are we talking like roadside billboard? Crash my PC style. Oh, whatever. 1.2. Just something cute. I think I already sent you a cool screen grab of the inside of the cave with the lights and the lamps and everything. And the glowing crystals, I don't know about that, if these are going to persist. Because, I mean, it's fine, but it's, I don't know. I don't know how sciencey you want it to be. Like, crystals don't glow in the wild. Not regularly, not unless they're hit by a very high energy particle or a hammer. And there's not a lot of quartz. Quartz is a silicate, right? There's not a lot of silicates in Costa Rica. It's mostly glasses. Like, I'm totally down for having glowing crystals. I'd be where do you want it? I will post it. I'll post it in the secret channel. I'll post it in the oh. No! You can't see the secret channel. No, stop. Yeah. And now I've done myself a mischief here because the screenshot's right there. Hello? My goodness gracious me. I'm not a technology. It's in the secret channel that everyone's seen now. So enjoy that. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna steal the stair generator from Lyra, and we will then be able to use that to generate stairs. I'm probably gonna do away with stuff like this. No offense. Definite 0% offense. But the not so secret channel. Yeah, now you all know it exists. God damn. It's fine. It's fine. I'm probably gonna get kicked from the science server now, but it's fine. This is fine, but it's gonna have to also be different because it's not river material, it's ocean material. So it's got a tide for one thing, which isn't something you find upstream, and also this is gonna be a teeny tiny bit of water because it's a game about ants, right? Also, Big Gamey, thank you for the follow. Hey, you left. You sped off speedily when I tried to thank you last time. You weren't here, so consider yourself thanked and welcome. You have already been added to the overlay, I'm afraid. I've already counted your vote. So, I love helical stairs. I love cool architectural design. Happy to be here. I'm happy for you to be here. Like this. They're not good for pathing. Balint is here. Big Gamey is here. Big Gamey and Balint are both here. It's not good for pathing. It's not good for AI. It's not good for player accessibility either. So anything that's like this is going to sketch me out, and it's probably just going to end up being a landing. We can do a terminal landing and then just have a couple more stairs straight. Like, I know it's not maybe aesthetically as pleasing as having a beautiful long flowing piece of stair corridor, but it is possibly essential for me and the player and the I know time has moved on. Let me open Paint and I'll explain why it's a bad idea to have helical stairs in a video game environment. And helical stairs in general, you know, they're all as bad as each other really, but especially in a game environment because you don't control where anyone puts their feet. They control that themselves to a degree, although you tell them where they put their feet and it gets a bit confusing. Anyway, so we have a cube edge, right? And we have I've drawn this way too big. So we have our cube edge, which is the wall, the inside wall of the helical stairway, right? So we have down there and we have up there, right? This is invisible in our example, right? In this example, there is it's a little post on the inside, right? Okay, so you can see there it's an instant infinitesimal point at which the stair changes direction on the inside. Back to paint. So when you have a staircase which has to navigate this, right? So we have stairs going up there and stairs going down there. You have. I should make very clear that these are flat, right? And these are actually steps. Oh my goodness gracious, this is hard to draw. This is really hard to draw, huh? Who would have thought that this would be hard to draw? And you can't actually see the steps leading off there because they obscure each other. You probably see the leading edge of them, like that. It's a perspective, not orthographic. But when you get to this point in the corner here, the end of that step and the beginning of this step, be right back, meeting 25 minutes. It's fine, you can watch the VOD. We have a 90-degree arc, and we can subdivide the arc, no problem. It's mathematically possible to subdivide the arc, no problem. And I've drawn them flat here, so it's actually going to be even harder to explain what the problem is, but possibly even easier. Because we have this little fan of 3 stairs, and inside the fan of 3 stairs, we'll have, well, 3 stairs. So, 1 step. 2 step. 3 step. And the amount of travel in the step per step, I've drawn those completely back to front, but whatever. Here is going to be a very long, shallow angle, right? Up these steps, it's going to be 15 degrees. It's going to be a scalable amount of space for the character to put their character feeties on the step and step up here like that. No problem. But when you get to the inside, it is a massive angle on the inside. So you end up with a much higher step. And this is even with part of the step on the inside taken out. Because as you can see, these steps all form in a singular point. And this point here is going to be the whole height of all 3 stairs right here on the inside corner of the step. So you can ameliorate the scenario by offsetting where the steps intersect, right? But then you end up with a really thin staircase, a really wide staircase, a staircase which isn't where you want to put it, and it's a big problem. Okay, it's a medium problem. It's a medium-sized problem. But things like AI, things like nav mesh, will have a hard time looking at it and going, "Yeah, I can walk up that," because it's all one flat surface. It will be like, interesting, and it's not enjoyable for the player to go up as well, because you'll have, like, you can actually see it as an example in the game there. You can see that the angle subtended here is just nothing. It's like pretty close to 0. You're curious as to how how Unreal handles nav mesh? Man, I don't want to do this because it takes ages to do, but fine, I will show you. So anyway, any internal, external, corner stair, helical stair situation is probably going to become just a little 90-degree landing. Don't explain, you're just happy to watch. Well, I'm not going to explain because I don't know how it does it, but I will show you. Nav mesh bounds volume. We drag that into the scene, and we scale it up to cover the size of the walkable floor. And it generates a nav mesh, as you can see. That's it. Done. Easy peasy. Game over. So I don't know why it thinks we can't walk on this piece of ground. I think it's because it's not intersecting. No, it is intersecting. This is so much simpler than Unity. Yeah, I don't know why anyone uses Unity. It's crazy. You just I don't want to scale the whole thing, sorry. I wanted to scale just the X and the Y. Oh my goodness. Let me grab that tangent. You can just make it big. And there are options that you can set on the nav mesh But we don't have anything really that blocks the nav mesh too hard. But if I were to put like a giant cube in here, you can see punches a hole out in the nav mesh, so you can't walk here. Or you can walk here. The AI doesn't think you can walk here. As you can see, you got some real issues with some of these 3D meshes, which are creating a bit of an issue. But it's something that you can do with the you can create a nav mesh blocker object asset and tie it into here as a collider. You can make them actors. You can put them in extra, like this cube, which now thinks you can walk on the top of because it's not high enough. It's called a nav mesh obstacle in Unity. Yeah. So can ever affect navigation is ticked, so this is a nav mesh obstacle. You can uncheck that and it will ignore it for the nav mesh. And AI will try and just walk through this, even if it's collidable. But there's other options that you can select, but it has to be an actor at that point with a correct collision applied. But there's a bunch of different things that you can set up, and the nav mesh bounds, I think, as well has options. Right at the top, maybe? No? Right at the bottom, maybe? I can't remember where they are. There's options for the nav mesh. Might be in project settings. But you can see there's some weirdness going on with this, because there's some assets here which don't have collision. There's some assets here which have collision but aren't considered nav mesh obstacles. I don't know what's going on, really. Hey, buddy. Navigation. Advanced. Ooh. See, this lad doesn't think it's a nav mesh obstacle, so there you go. Simple as. I don't know what this is. I think it's an object created by the nav mesh bounds volume that is meant to draw the nav mesh. But that's how the nav mesh work. Very cool. No. We. But yeah, once it has the nav mesh built, you just have to have an AI controller for your AIs that deal with the nav mesh, or your player characters that deal with the nav mesh. If you have player character nav mesh integration stuff, like, you can do that, it's fine. This is a pretty nice little screenshot as well. There's a cool indoor one with the spiderweb. Spiderweb's a nice asset. I like it. It's cartoony enough. Right, yeah. That's what we're doing, cleaning up these as well. So there's a bunch of, this is just an FBX scene import, right? So there's a bunch of assets which are used like a multiple time, right? So there's full white flower 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we just delete these and we replace the references with minimal default levels 1. Full white flower. Replace the references. Yes. Say selected. And they all disappear because the what you columns are all different. And I think it'll give us a bunch of redirectors. It'll make us save the level as something that we didn't want to save the level as. God. I'm going to have to clean this project so hard. Oh, non-real process has crashed. Applause. Big. Big applause. Skip restore. I mean, I can assume what I did, but I'm not taking any responsibility for that. Yeah, these are just redirectors. Oh my goodness. You think I could fix all these up? Like, in one go? And not crash the engine instantly? Game engines are like Tesla's crash. It's a given. Yep. Especially when you let them drive themselves. Oh! Exactly. Right, yeah, okay. So, other big files contains most of the materials along with the renamed static meshes and the fixed static mesh, the renamed static meshes for all the pebbles and the fixed static mesh for the pot with the soil. So I'm going to move these into source mesh is good. In fact, we don't need this Megascans asset open. Gonna go to the source mesh is good file, and we're gonna go to tree of life files final. My goodness gracious me, what have I done? And we're gonna move here, and then okay. That didn't make any redirectors, which is fantastic. Source mesh is good, and mountain files. This is what we are after. I think we use any of these anymore. I said I was going to keep one of those, didn't I? Can I make a new folder in mountain files for the hex crystal? Hex crystal shards, and then we're going to move all these into that folder. Did I say I was going to get the Lyra staircase generator? Oh no, that was the hex bool. Where's the... There it is. SM... Hex... Chris... I know how to type. And we'll get the hex bool shards also moved into their own folder. Did that work? We got some redirectors. Don't know what they could be for, but there they are. Ah, web diffuse. There it is. Vine diffuse. Upper base normal. Lovely plants. So this and this and this. Oops, not those. They all look like that, right? So let's reduce those down to its constituent object. That wasn't enough information. Polysurface 356. Okay, we'll try that one. That's the one. Okay. Yep. Save. Three, 5, 5. I think we're getting there. I think we are getting to a point where the assets are almost completely clean. Ah, this. Did we not? Yeah, we did these. We don't need those. Goodbye. Are these? Yeah, we did those. And we did those as well. They are the name plaques. Okay, so we've done that. One reference. Nah. I don't think so. That's fairly innocuous. SM rock platform. I don't even know what you are. That's the cross. That's the walkway. Okay, that's the walkway. Yep. That's a single triangle. That's a single reversed triangle. I think this is from one of the splits I did. So, yeah. It's totally fun. F. F! I pressed F, not delete. Yeah. F. Why? I'm having so much fun. It's because I'm focusing them, that's why. My fingers got confused. So there really aren't that many meshes here. We don't need any of these. These were intermediate meshes that we used for making the archway at the front door. This is SM Spanish moss. I'm actually going to have to load that level now, unfortunately. Where is it? Testing? Okay, delete that map. Levels and models. That's this, right? Back to our modeling tool. Gonna set our pivota to the bottom. And then we're gonna split the meshes. Kind of knew that was going to happen. kind of had the inkling that that was going to happen. Oh, the stalactites are part of the same mesh. Oh my good grief. Okay. So you prepare those mesh cards. I am going to make a new folder, and this is going to be oh, thank you for the look, Big Gamey. You enjoy your work. Look while you work. Work while you look. I'm gonna check my emails real quick. It's funny, I've had 10 emails since I last checked, and none of them are worth anything. Cool. There's been some updates to Throne. I have to check that out. Yeah, okay. So huh? What have I selected that won't allow me to do the mesh bool operation, huh? Hmm? Tell me that, hmm? Mesh bool only work with 2? I see. They're all the same pillar, right? Yeah. Boop. I don't know what this is. Hello you. I don't know what that is, but I do not like it. But there's one in here as well. What is it? It's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone. didn't strike me as being a healthy mesh object anyway. Pivot. Give me that pivot. Bottom. Accept. That's what those are, huh? Oh no. Those images are sick. I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad you enjoy them. You're a simple man. You like photo. Hmm. Loop de loop. This might seem. Oh, I can just hide it, can't I? And then we have this large over the top rock over the top. This illegal shape here, which is illegal, by the way. If you didn't know, that shape is illegal. %100% illegal. That's fun. Floating Monster Island. Yee. Brasta Asset. Well, thank you for opening up another Irish John Games. Welcome in. Welcome. Browse to a sweat. I don't know why it keeps opening up a new browser. There's two here. Just use one of them. I don't care which one. Just. How you doing, Mr. Irish John? SM Mountain X'd. It's just a little bit easier to see this way, you know. Oh, actually, Berlin, are you here? Are you available? Are you available for a brief second? Can you tell me the names of these ants so I can put them here? Because right now they're called full mountain _ ZZ brush full poly whatever. So yes, 1 second. No rush, no rush. The first is Atta cephalotes. Hold on. Browse asset. Rename SM ant. The second Soldier Cast. Okay. The file name has to be quite short, so it just the regular just the big old family name. Genus. The second is Myrmachia gulosa. Browse to asset, rename SM ant. The third one. Trapjaw ant. Wow. Ano Catus Foray. Browse to asset, SM ant. Good old turtlehead ant. Cephalotes varians. SM ant. And the fifth is Keton Bekele. Thank you. have a little look at the old lighting scenario that's going on here. And while it's processing that, I'm going to go grab a fresh drink. My stream deck. Thank you, Berlin. I am welcomed. Nice. And thank you, Spectre Flight, for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy it here. Let me add you to the overlay. Oh, panic! I don't have a panic here because all chat here is in a state of panic at all times. Anyway, we did a lighting build because I saw some goofiness and none of the goofiness went away, so I'm back and I have at least a cup of tea now. Nice. More panic. Exactly. There's a blue light there. There's a pink light over there. There's a green light over there. And there's a bunch of crystals that glow, apparently. Yeah. So I think we were about to do something with these. There's a bunch of very similar excitements. Yes, there's a bunch of Is that the illegal mesh? That's the illegal mesh. Right there. We found him. Delete him in the scene. Delete him in real life. Force the delete. No actors found. It's another illegal mesh. Let's get rid of some of these illegal meshes. They are single-sided concave. Not ideal. Just to confirm, this is for the Science game. Yeah, this is for Antonia Real Tournament 2016. I'm kidding. Yes, it's for the Science game, as you can well see. Put the illegal mesh in handcuffs. The illegal mesh has been placed in handcuffs. Has been escorted to the correct authorities for... Oh no, there's another one right there. Very awesome. I'm trying my hardest. A real bunch of these, huh? And they just seem to be second shells for this mesh detail here. I think that it's an automatic thing that ZBrush has generated. What makes it an illegal mesh? So Black Void Titan! Black Void Titan! Black Void Titan. Thank you for the raid, buddy. Thank you. Welcome raiders. I'm the man I don't know. Everybody, where's my B key? Everybody go check out Mr. Black Void Titan. An epic Unreal dev. Were you working on the game today? He's working on, I believe, if I am not very much mistaken, a side-scroller horror platformer game. He was. Nice. And it's very cool. It's very awesome. And he is an awesome host. Playing around with post-process effects. This is like the worst place for you to all have come in because this scene is an absolute dumpster fire of stuff. So we have some very interesting, very high poly, what would you call these? They are meshes, yes. Very high poly foliage meshes, which I'm thinking about how best to wrangle. And then we have some excruciatingly low poly cubes, which I have got a world position texture on. Clicking the link brought you back here. Nice. That's because he's rated me, and therefore he will be hosting me on his channel. He has finished his stream now. You can click on his name, and that will open up a little pop down that you can follow him from. Or you can click on his name and click through onto his URL. And anyway, Twitch is a confusing and scary place. Let's just all agree on that one. Thank you so much for the raid again. And if anyone has a question about what's going on here, who I am, or why I'm here, or how much tea I drink in a day, you did that and followed? Excellent. You can just ask it in the chat. We don't have a scary chat here. Thanks for the follow, Spectrefly. 200th follow! Mr. Void Titan, I was under the impression that you had far more followers than me. I was under the impression that you had maybe 2,000 followers at this point. I'm shocked. Did you win the cookie? Yes. You've won at least 2 cookies. One of them says Google Analytics on the side, but don't focus on it. Oh, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello. Hello. Hello, friendly, illegal, friendly mesh. What's this? What's this? Huh? Possible titles: Eldent Ring, Horizon 2 Forbidden West, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Call of Duty Vanguard, Mario Kart, or Gran Turismo. It's a secret. What is this? It's not a secret that I care to look at, I'm afraid. Shwoop. Don't. It's not a donut. It is a convex mesh. The Rise of Antwerp. What? What? Oh. The ants. Yeah, okay. Whoops. Dynamic mesh sculpting. Here we go. No. That I'm already seeing scary legal stuff going on here. I don't want it. Oh, the Rise of Antwerp. So today we're going to witness some more of the lovely Unreal Engine's modeling tools, which include sculpting brush, vertex operations, and voxel remeshing. All of which will be required to... It might have been easier just to do a voxel bool with this and a couple of meshes. It might have been way easier to just voxel bool it. But actually I find that the mesh direct sculpting tools are very relaxing to use, and I'm thinking about exporting a feature from another game project, which is very stressful. So we're gonna calm down first. We're gonna pre-calm. We're gonna get a pre-calm down with this one. How are you, Raiders? By the way, did I even ask? How are you, Raiders, and how are you, Mr. Black Void 10? Are you doing okay? Are you happy, healthy? Did you make progress in your last game save? feel like I'm making it worse somehow. You're operating within acceptable parameters. Thanks for asking. There we go. What's that from? That sounds familiar. I think it's the smoothing ratio is too high, so it's overpowering the inflate ratio. Oh no, don't do that. Sleep deprived. No. But the great thing about the dynamic, the direct mesh sculpting tool over the vertex sculpting tool is the direct mesh sculpting tool allows dynamic remeshing. So you get much fewer degenerate faces created. Which is a good thing if you didn't know. It means that we have to spend less time fixing holes in the mesh, even though we probably end up spending a couple of seconds fixing holes in this mesh. But it's totally fine. It's totally worth it. And it's totally not sponsored by L'Oreal. Yet. If any of you here are new to the Unreal Engine, it's free. Totally Panic? Yeah, absolutely Totally Panic. I don't know what's gone on here. This is an interesting set of stuff that's gone on here. It doesn't seem to want to close, which is not good. We don't care about the tridensity. We don't care about preserving that. This mesh has UV seams, which may limit remeshing. Consider the UV layers as discarded attributes in the remesh tool. Okay. The inflate tool is generally pretty good for filling in holes like this because it expands the surrounding mesh, and it should remesh to join in empty areas like that. Although the engine is telling me what? The engine is telling me that this model has UV seams, which may limit remeshing ability. Just means that it's going to try and preserve the edge loops where the UV seams are apparent. And then, like a lot of the things, we've re-UV'd a lot of the stuff already anyway, so it's kind of difficult to undo some of this kind of weird mesh topology without having to completely remap the UVs anyway. And I have the texture, the source file here available to me, but you can't. It's hard to re-UV something onto its own UVs. It requires someone of great skill and brain power and patience. And I have a lot of patience, but I don't have that much patience, I'm afraid. Squishy mesh. Squishy, squishy mesh. We're getting there though. Squishy, squishy. It's this area of the mesh doesn't want to inflate as good as the rest of it. So I'm guessing there's a UV seam in the back, in the inside, in the loop, in the edge loop down here, which is not cool. Although it's coming. But yeah, typically for the rendering system employed in the Unreal Engine 5, you want meshes which resemble spheres or cubes. Squish. Yeah, very squish. Look at that. So that's already much more of a convex surface. So I am not without fault. If we go over to the basic tunnel mesh that I made, it's not split. It is actually topologically straw shaped, a toroid, and the engine does not enjoy toroid rendering. That I have understood. It has told me many times. Oh, is that the original mesh there? Ooh, I need to uninflate some parts of it then, don't I? Is it shift click to undo? How long have I been doing 3D modeling? -1 days. I'm not a 3D artist, I'm afraid. Balint is the 3D modeler for this project. He has provided us with all of the 3D assets, except for the lush Megascans vegetation, which were provided by Epic Games and Quixel. They are provided for any developer using the Unreal Engine. They're not limited to us or our project or anyone else's project for that matter. You can use them for free as long as you're using the Unreal Engine. You can use them in the Unity engine or the Godot engine if you pay for them. But they are expensive. I've looked at the price of Quixel and sheesh. Let's just say that. Let's just not dip our toes into the arena of purchasing photo scanned real world geometry stuff for your project if you're not using the Unreal Engine. Don't even think about it. It's more money than it's even worth, in my opinion. Like, there's plenty of fantastic assets for free on Kenny and Cinti and Mixamo. We don't talk about Mixamo anymore though, I'm afraid. Mixamo is dead to us. Rest in peace, Mixamo. But yeah, if I need a 3D model, I get someone else to do it, or I steal it. I'm terrible at using any kind of 3D modeling application. And you might think that this is an example of me being extremely skillful, but this is actually just an insanely basic operation that I probably could have done with a Vox wrap, in fact. It would have been a lot faster and maybe a lot cleaner to use a Vox wrap. It would have had new UVs though, so maybe it wouldn't be cleaner or faster. Let's reduce some of these in these areas around here. But the general idea is that we want the mesh, any mesh in the game, to be closed. The engine doesn't seem to mind if meshes are closed or not, but I do not like I do not like open meshes. There's one there that I'm about to delete. I've seen it. I've locked on. The only open mesh that I'll tolerate is a landscape mesh, because that comes with rendering optimizations. But on the whole, open meshes are very bad. They're not terrible. They're not bad, but they're bad. Like, they're not bad, but they're bad. They have issues with the rendering pipeline that we're using here, with the Quixel and Epic Games will be quick to be like, no, they're fine, they're fine. There's so many caveats that you have to obey. It's way easier just to use a whole bunch of closed meshes instead of open meshes. Open meshes, by the way, are fine, but they have rendering issues with the I've just realized that that isn't this mesh. I mean, it kind of is that mesh, but let's not talk about it. I've been reducing this because I thought there was a mesh inside it, but there is actually not a mesh inside it. So let's unreduce it. Anyway, the in-engine modeling tools are really good, especially if you hate the Blender camera. I hate the Blender camera, by the way, because you get to use the Unreal camera, which is way better, in my opinion. This is going to annoy me. Did I start with a sphere for the rocks? Brilliant. Did you start with a sphere for the rocks? This is a direct question for yourself. Wonder if we can collapse these. Let's see. I see exactly how this is worked out now. Yep, collapse. Collapse, yes. Yes! Get collapsed on, stupid mesh. Oh no, the engine stopped working. Oh, poopy. That was that one, right? Nice. No, it's back. We're back. It's fine. You can't remember. Let's just accept for now. And then we can save all. Save all. And then we can go back to direct sculpting. And we can go back inside. And then we're still using the same tool. And then we can maybe... No? There we go. And then we can just collapse that little fissure. I don't know what you'd call them professionally, but... So it looks like, right? Little... So the idea is that we were meant to sculpt that out originally, and it didn't want to sculpt out, so you had to go inside the mesh and sculpt it from the inside out. But it's fine, it's done now. How does the Unreal Engine compare to like the Blender or the Source? Okay, so I used to use the Source engine, believe it or not. I've made multiple maps for CSGO. I say I made them. I stole them from respectable software developers. Made them my own and then sold them as if they were my own. I'm kidding. I didn't sell them. Do not sue. Do not sue. Do not engage legal action. So all these need to get deleted, essentially. This and this and this and this, and I'm assuming all these. That looks like it. Oh, there's one more there. We actually asset actions select all the actors using this. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of actors using these, which is gross. Delete those from the scene. How does the Unreal Engine compare to Blender? Previously made stuff is kind of where most people start. True. I think that the Unreal Engine is cooler than Blender. No actors found. Force delete. Shouldn't be any redirectors. Save. It has a whole bunch of really cool modern rendering stuff that the Source engine will let you do. like this. For example, if I tried to render this map in the source engine, the engine would freak out. Would you say more or less intuitive or user-friendly? There's a lot more to the Unreal Engine. There's a lot more to do in the Unreal Engine than the source engine, so I'm gonna have to say it's less intuitive. Just on the pure fact that there's far more stuff that you can do. As you've seen, I was just doing some 3D modeling there, which is, you can't do that in source, I'm sorry. What? You have to do that in Blender and then import it into source. So there's a lot more to learn in the Unreal Engine, but you also get a lot greater freedom of creation. So they use categorically different rendering systems, right? So for one thing, by default, the Unreal Engine uses deferred lighting rather than the other one, forward rendering. But also, it doesn't use binary space partitioning. So we get to do the BSP talk again. Everybody celebrate. We get to do the BSP talk again. So you can do BSP modeling. You can do BSP modeling in Unreal Engine still. Yes, you can add, I don't know where it is these days, brush editing, I think. Yeah, so brush editing allows you to place BSP meshes, and you can couple that with an object called, if we go to the actors, pre-computed visibility volume. Gather around, kids. Manadon is going to tell the BSP story. So binary space partitioning is how Doom works, right? So where's Photoshop, right? Okay, so you create your level data like this, right? So there's one room, there's a corridor, there's a room there, there's a corridor here, and there's a room here, right? And there's a room here, and you have to specify things like view portals at the end of each corridor and doorway, like that. You specify the view portals, and all the lines have to line up exactly, otherwise you'll have something called a light leak, where the ray tracer will fire a ray and the ray will escape into nothing, and because it can escape into nothingness, it returns a null value or an unexpected value, and it causes your render to crash. So you won't be able to package the file if you have a single hole in your map. But anyway, when you have a successful package with no holes in it, like there's a hole there, but just ignore it, that's fine. We fixed it. It will chop up all the areas into something called a visleaf. And a visleaf stores information about which other visleaves you can see from that visleaf. And okay, Doom has maybe not as many optimizations as the source engine does, but for example, this is what typical visleaves look like. You might have some weird geometry here because you've got a view portal. It's a binary space partitioning, so you can't have an abstract shape. They're all cubes or squares or oblongs. But this one would probably have a really nice looking one like this. It probably looks something like that. Anyway, when you're stood here, the game engine requests which visleaves are visible from this visleaf, and this visleaf has that in a table inside its data, and it tells you you can see here, you can see here, you can see here, you can see where you're stood, and you can probably see into that corridor. You can probably see that visleaf, and that visleaf, assuming all the doors are open. In fact, even if the doors are closed, it probably will still render those visleaves. Whether or not you can see these visleaves, I don't know. Depends how deep you're going into this thing. And that's how it does its culling. So if we were to render the whole map as a whole, modern PCs can do that fine. PCs in 1993 could not do that, apparently. So that's why you had to cull the level, and the level was culled with something called binary space partitioning, which is this method here. And that's how the source engine does it as well, except for the source engine does it in 3 dimensions instead of 2 dimensions, because the Doom engine has the limitation of height. Although GZ Doom and the ZDoom editor have circumvented that somewhat, it's still like all the line defs which create the BSP geometry are shared throughout the entire depth of the level, which is very interesting. I've seen Bridgeburner, shout out Bridgeburner, Is it 56? I think it's 56. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try Bridge Burner 56. Doom 2 Hell on Earth. That seems cromulent. That seems fine. They work in ZDoom, and yeah. So BSP in the Source engine is 3-dimensional. You can view it in game, and you get these cubes, these blue line cubes that you can look at, and you can see the viz traces and the viz leaves that it's rendering, and you have to set up all the kind of you have blocking volumes around corners and such. It's purple, the ones that you use around these kinds of corners like that you use to split the viz leaves. And so the more viz leaves you have, the bigger the map file will be, but the faster it will run on more PCs because the culling will be more efficient or more specified, to a point at which, you know, if you're loading 1,000 chunks in one square that could just be one square, there's no point. Which is again why we have view portals in the Source engine, because that allows your exact position to be tracked through here and projected, you know, into a view cone like that for even better culling. The Unreal Engine uses a completely different series of things. It's a I won't say a modern renderer. So the Source engine is definitely not a modern renderer. It uses forward shading, which means all of the lighting is pre-compiled. Well, it doesn't mean all the lighting is pre-compiled, but it means that for every light you have in the level, you have to run a lighting check in the render pass, right? For every light and every mesh. Even if the light can't reach it, even if the mesh is unlit, for every light you add dynamic, you have to add that into the render pass again for each mesh. So it's very slow the more lights you add. And modern games are basically all about having a very succulent, rich, realistic lighting. As you can see, all this stuff here, there's a whole bunch of lights going on. And you can do this in the Source engine fake by baking the light information, which is what happens when you're making a CSGO map. You add thousands of lights to the map, hundreds of millions of lights to the map, but the second you click bake, there's one dynamic light. It's the sun. That's the only thing that casts shadows. That's the only thing which is actually calculated at runtime. So you have one light, and then that times by however many meshes are in the scene. And then all the other lights, their lighting information is baked into each viz leaf, along with the visibility data, etc. So that's how it runs faster. And forward shading is typically faster because of this setup. For baked lighting, static lighting scenarios, and you can engage it in the Unreal Engine. You can bring the Unreal Engine right the way down to the Source engine's level for very high performant video games that require extreme FPS, for example VR. So in deferred rendering mode, we can actually see it here. If we go to the buffer visualization overview, you can see that the game writes to what's called the G buffer, which is the graphics buffer, which is a series of images which show the GPU information about the scene. So one of the most important things is the scene depth. The scene depth allows the GPU to probe to a maximum and a minimum depth to do early Z prepass, which allows things to be organized in the view depending on what needs to be rendered first, what needs to be rendered last. And it can do depth culling. So if something is far away, it doesn't need to render it. Or if something is far away, it can load in a different LOD version of the object that it's trying to load. And other such optimizations which are not based on BSP baked stuff about having a distinct boundary around things. And it has the color, the specular, the subsurface color. What has subsurface color here? Hold on. I want to get distracted real sec. What has subsurface color here? These? Oh, cool. That's nice. That's good. That's important. Shading model. Good. World tangent. I don't know why only the tree has the world tangent. Everything should have a world tangent, and everything should have a world normal as well. So I'm scared about that. So it's basically the material properties and the lighting, and then the translucency pass. Right here on the end, you see it's black and white because there's no translucency. Translucency can't be solved using deferred rendering, something. I can't remember why. There's a good YouTube video on it. Anyway, suffice to say that they're entirely different, and apart from the fact that you can kind of do the same tricks for performance in the Unreal Engine that you can do in Source, you cannot do the same tricks in the Source engine for good-looking graphics than you can in the Unreal Engine. You have to really work hard to fake things. Although, I will caveat that by saying, up until Unreal Engine 4.27, the indirect lighting quality would have been a lot worse in Unreal Engine because it was pushing really hard for dynamic lighting everywhere, and the indirect lighting is something which takes a lot of raycasts to solve, and because it takes a lot of raycasts to solve, the only kind of scenario where it would have been appropriate to use would be in a baked lighting scenario. So you can bake indirect lighting in the Unreal Engine, no problem, but where it really shines is in engines like the Source engine, where the dynamic light is dynamic, but the position of the dynamic light is fixed. So it's technically a stationary light. And the position of all the mesh data is fixed. So all of the indirect lighting that you would want to put in your scene, you can actually bake it in a really high fidelity, but it won't move. And that's the whole thing about the Unreal Engine 5. We have the Lumen lighting solver, so that global illumination, dynamic indirect lighting, stuff like that can be solved essentially in real time by using the surface cache, which I will also show you right now in the Lumen surface cache. This is the surface cache. It looks very crusty because a lot of this stuff isn't set up correctly, but it gives you an idea of the quality of the surface and how it solves the lighting. So the pink things are things which can't be written to memory, and the yellow things are things which haven't been written into memory yet. And anything which is shaded correctly has been written into the surface cache. I don't know why this can't be written into the surface cache. It should be fine. The insides, maybe the normal is incorrect. Anyway, it's not the point. Point is, by using a very low quality image, it can dynamically solve indirect and global illumination. That's it. And no one thought about doing this for like ever. And this is the Lumen scene, which is slightly nicer to look at. Gives you this is basically exactly what Lumen sees for its reflections and its global illumination. So you can see this is bright red and green, flecks and green. You can see there's a green color splash from these lights in the crystals down here. Yeah, it's good. And then there's one last one, which is the reflection view, which is usually a lot goopier, which is fine. But this shows you what the Lumen scene will be reflected as in shiny materials. So it's not great for high fidelity reflections, but you can still couple it with ray trace reflections and planar reflections, which are very expensive, but you can use them. You are allowed to, if you want to. But you can see stuff like those pillars become solid at great distance. But when you get up close to them, they represent themselves quite neatly, almost exactly as the pillar that they are. You have to get quite close to them for that to happen. And that's how it does it in real time, basically. Without using RTX or ray tracing, or it does use temporal anti-aliasing to increase the fidelity. You can see actually here we have screen percentage. We can change the actual resolution scale dynamically in the editor, and you can see that there's a little bit of fuzziness around the outside, but it looks completely fine, and that gives you a little FPS boost. I actually, if we are going to be talking about, optimizations in view modes, I actually really prefer DLSS to the Epic Games TXAA. DLSS is a lot more fidel. It's a lot more fidel. It's a lot faster, but it does run natively on the GPU. I'm not saying this doesn't run natively on the GPU, but this has to be coded specifically to run across any GPU, right? So you can't run DLSS on all the GPUs. I doubt you could really run anything on Unreal Engine 5 and on all the GPU, but you can't run DLSS specifically on an AMD GPU, right? Which is that's the killer, because the Nintendo Switch uses an ATI, I believe. Oh no, it doesn't. It uses a Maxwell. Ooh, so there is a chance we can use DLSS on the Nintendo Switch. Hold on, let me look that up. Nintendo Switch. Time to call it a day. Catch you next time. Well, thank you, Black Votan, again for the raid. Thank you for bringing your people over. I hope you have a nice evening. Sorry, I talked for like a 20-minute stretch there about BSPs and rendering, but it's important. Switch DLSS. OLED Nintendo Switch reportedly uses new NVIDIA chip with DLSS support. The Verge. Sheesh. Nintendo Switch XL OLED. What? How a Switch Pro leak may point to NVIDIA's Megaton mobile gaming plans. Nintendo Switch Pro will include new GPU, 4K screen. Get out of here. Switch Pro, Super Switch, DLSS tech. Unreleased console or speculation over the OLED. Good. DLSS enabled in Nintendo Switch Pro reportedly found in. This was 1st of March. Okay, so this is new news. Huh. So there's a Switch Pro in the works, and it uses a newer NVIDIA graphics card. Great. But DLSS won't work on a standard Switch or a Switch OLED. Good to know. Anyway, back to what we were doing. That's Notepad. You saw what? You saw... Whoa, what did you see? What did I put on screen? Did I put something unfriendly on the screen? I'm sorry. I got my mod screaming at me now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. SM inside joke? Oh, yeah. That's not an inside joke. It's common and public knowledge that I do not like No Man's Sky at all. Least favorite video game on the planet. I think we've reduced these, right? Browse to asset. Mountain rock pile A. Browse to asset. SM mountain rock pile B. Beep 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 beep. Oh, what's this? Huh. I think so. Oh no. Least favorite on the planet. Yep. Big claim. I doubt there will be a video game that will make me angrier than No Man's Sky. Yeah. Minecraft came close, but they redeemed themselves because with the merge of the Mojang account and the Microsoft account, you actually get Bedrock and Java on the same account. So if you had Java, you get Bedrock. If you had Bedrock, you get Java. And yeah, so Bedrock is Minecraft for Windows 10. And Minecraft for Windows 10 has an NVIDIA ray tracing demo and version mode, and also a VR mode. And I remember, I have vivid memory of playing the VR mode because it's fucking scary, and I was playing it on a phone with mouse and keyboard. That was messed up. Don't ever do that. That's Don't ever do that. Anyway, I had fun and I wanted to play it one day, and I saw that it was the last day to claim. The last day to claim your free Windows 10 thing, and I went to claim it. It was already claimed, and I was like, well, yeah, obviously I have vivid memories of playing it. And then I went to my account, and it's not there. So I'm like, they've stolen a copy of Minecraft from me, and then I got it back anyway. So that's square. That's fine. That's no problem. That's fine. No Man's Sky, that was a fucking debacle, and never again will I purchase a game made by that lad. No. Not a No Man's Sky game. I won't play it. Or any other IPs he touch. Name! SM Lovely Plant. I don't know how many of these I've done, but I've done a few now. Destiny gave it a run for its money for a hot minute. Nah. I mean, kinda, but not really. It's not even in the same league. Naughty. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to unload the level. Game content levels overall. Those redirectors just magically disappeared, didn't they? Not a discussion for now. Well, I'll put it this way, okay? I didn't lose access to the Steam Marketplace for a year because I played Destiny and they removed content from the game. I was a little bit salty, but at the same time, okay, given their dues, they announced like 12 years ago that they wanted to make a living world game as a service. And I was excited for it then, and then when they actually did it, they handled it badly, but they didn't handle it that badly. Wait. I lost access to the Steam Marketplace. I couldn't use Steam to buy games, sell games, buy keys or cases for a year. You did not know that? Yes. Yes, I did. It was okay. Not Steam's fault. It was my fault because I was being very stubborn. Granted. But at the same time, it was entirely because of No Man's Sky. So it's like a chain of blame, really, isn't it? Steam looking at me, wagging a finger, and me looking at Hello Games, wagging a finger. But yeah, I couldn't use the Steam Marketplace for a year. Now you understand. Now you know why I was so angry about it the whole time. Oh yeah. Because I couldn't trade either. Trade ban. 1 year trade ban. It's like, okay. No wonder I was so salty. Yeah. 1 year trade ban. Didn't even hack in CSGO. 1 year trade ban. Didn't even scam a noob out of their falchion knife. 1 year trade ban. I don't get it. Like, I could understand it if it was a 1 year trade ban on No Man's Sky items, which there are none, by the way. Or like, you know, I still can't use my PayPal to buy stuff on Steam. So that is eternally banned. PayPal, completely. Yeah. I made strong decisions that day. I'm looking for a folder. Am I not? Source Mesh is good. Ant Mountain. You know it was bad, but it was like, I was kind of overly being harsh on it. Now you know why? Yeah. The redirectors are still here. What are you talking about? Meshes good ant mountain files. Fix. I don't want to save. I don't want to. Let's load a level from this window, huh? I don't want to save the level. It's gonna make me. It's gonna make me save the level. It's really going there, huh? It didn't even fix it up. It crashed! It crashed. Woo! Beautiful. I think the funniest thing was. So I was requesting a refund for No Man's Sky because it was not as advertised. Air quotes. And the funny thing is that when they updated Payday 2 to include loot boxes and premium keys for the loot boxes, and everyone kicked off, I asked for a refund then, and they were like, yeah, totally fine. You can have all the money that you spent on Payday back. You can get Payday out of your library. And I was like, okay, well, how much did I actually spend? No, I was always £2.56, and I'm like, that's not really worth it then, is it? But I'd had that game for like 2 years, and I had like almost 300 hours in it. And they were like, you can have a refund for this, no problem. Yeah, we're sorry about that update. Double standards. Double double standoobs. I don't know what it was. I don't know why it wanted a level save for those. It was freaking out. Anyway, let's stop talking about me and start talking about this cool video game that I'm working on. Huh? I don't know why there's a meshes thing in here, but we can delete scrap. We're never going to look at scrap. It's not a thing that we need. Yep. Say yep. Your apologies. No, it's fine. Oh, what is this? I take everything I said about the spider web needs to be fixed. I'm sorry. You didn't know that. I thought you did. I thought everyone knew. I thought it was common knowledge. So this is gonna suck for a hot second because we're gonna have to do Vox wrap. Auto simplify, remove internal surfaces, simplify factor, cube root min component, voxel count, a lot of voxels because it's a very stringy mesh. Didn't know about the market ban. Yeah, I wasn't actively trading at the time, so it's kind of fine, but it was definitely annoying. Oh, yeah, great gooby goob. You knew PayPal was balked. Oh. Okay. This is not good. Let's not simplify, huh? Show me the raw. Show me the real mesh. Show me the unsimplified. That's worse. I mean, it's fine. I can still buy things on Steam with my debit card and my credit card. Someone else's PayPal account. Apparently. Mesh is scary as ferret. I just noticed that there are some areas of this mesh which aren't particularly friendly. They are quite scary. And the voxel remeshing isn't going to work too good because it works on a volume-based thing, and these are very stringy. Self-union selective meshes to resolve self-intersections. This seems like exactly what we need. Kind of. You have failed no one. Like, how could I get a cool spiderweb mesh like this as quickly as possible without using this? No. It's perfectly fine. Don't try and collapse edges though, but do fix the holes. That seems better. It seems like it's done some linking on the insides of these little chains. So we'll accept it. It has put the spider mesh into the wrong folder. Thank you, Unreal Engine. Thank you. Let's put that into the correct folder, huh? Let's put that into the source mesh is good. Oh man. It's going to be so cool to explore this world. I think it is, yes. And then we'll use a jacket operation, huh? And we'll use raycast occlusion, vertices and centroids, just vertices. And we get weird stuff like this happening, huh? I saw something flicker on my screen. What was it? The bitrate graph is more vertices. Okay, centroids is required. I don't see this doing anything, so no. Target triangle count, 1,000,000. How many triangles does it have, actually? It's not going to tell me. I'm going to have to actually open up the mesh. Oh, there you go. Has 30,000 vertices, which is scary. 25,000 triangles. Okay. Simplify? Oh no. Sheesh, that's not friendly. Minimal shape preserving. I actually think it's doing anything helpful. Is it closing any of these loops? No. Where's fill holes? Error finding hole boundary loops. That's interesting. Okay. Remesh. So this is going to put a loop in where it is hollow. And then we can hole fill. Error finding hole boundary loops. Interesting. That's not what we're looking for, I don't think. Oi! Good. You know, I didn't want to finish editing that model either. Don't worry. Let's open the big test map, huh? With all these huge lads. Whoa. Is the queen in the scene? I forgot. Ah, the queen is not in the scene. Did we get any other 3D assets? Lord 5. Get out of here. Add some material. Details. Huh. We can't simulate their physics because they don't have colliders, and I don't want to generate colliders because they're very high detail meshes. Generating a collider for a high detail mesh is usually a waste of time. You can't drop them unless you... What? Oh, because they don't have collision? No, you can drop them. It was just clipping into the tree, that's all. Okay. I don't know what that's clipping into, but it won't let me slam it, so... It is what it is. Bad physics, indeed. We didn't want physics anyway. Can we get the, where's the queen? Where is the queen, huh? Content. Queen. Oh, you did very poorly in physics. I got a B. That is not the arms. That's the arms. Body. Clothes. Eyes. Head. Mm. Mm. Megaskynes. 3 assets. Okay. So sick. The trees and the ant. I don't want to eat. What even am I looking at here? It's leaf litter, right? Let's turn shadows off on those. And then a big healthy one here. Oh, that has that built in. Okay, interesting. I'm just trying to see if we've got any. And that's gonna be out of shot though. That's the one. Everyone loves leaf litter. Absolutely. The lighting looks so nice. Praise Epic Games for the cool lighting. There it is. Disquad. Shoop. I just came to see if I had downloaded any more. Ooh, output log. You've moved. Interesting. Hello. Get out of here. Thank you. I just couldn't remember if I'd imported any more cool stuff. Nice. Leather fern inch plant. Okay. Fern. Fan palm. It's all cool stuff. It's the warm down now. Cat palm. Canna lily. Does it have? That's a big one. There's no way. There's no way it's that big in real life. There's no way. It's next to a tree, okay? It's next to a banana tree. I'm not giving credence to the scale of this one. No way. Megascans don't lie, but I feel like they're lying to me right now. It's the size of a banana tree. I'm looking it up. Do I enjoy bananas? I had one before the stream. How to computer? Chrome. What is it called? Carnalini. Lily. Size. Do 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 do. Squappa do bit do do. Yeah. 1.5 to 8 feet tall. Oh, okay. 1.5 to 6 feet wide. How big do canna lilies get? 3 to 5 feet tall. Banana plant. I spelled banana wrong, but it's fine. Cultivated banana plants vary in height depending on the variety and growing conditions. Most around 5 meters tall, with a range from dwarf Cavendish plants around 3 meters, 10 feet, to Gros Michel at 7 meters, 23 feet or more. Leaves are spirally arranged and may grow 2.7 meters long and 60 centimeters wide. Joins the fun. Reno! Be right back, another meeting. I'll see you in a moment then. Devereaux! So, it's clear to me that the lily is far too big and the banana is far too small. So I'm willing to give credence that the banana tree is the correct size compared to this actual tree. I don't think banana trees are trees, are they? Call me on that one. But we have a tree here, which is an actual legitimate wood tree. And it's huge, right? It's absolutely colossal compared to the size of the ants, right? Where's the ants? I don't even know where the ants is anymore. There's the ants. And it's like, it's a million times bigger, right? The banana tree is slightly smaller, but still comparable, right? It's psychedelic forest time. Oh, you want to see that, huh? There you go. There you go. You can enjoy that for a moment. So if the banana tree is 5 meters tall, maybe 6 meters tall, right? This tree is maybe 15 meters tall, 12 meters tall, no problem. Damn tree got LGBT lights. Yeah. This, biggest it gets, is like 2 meters. So, yeah. Not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. It's way too big. Ferns can be massive. I don't care. Anyway, what are we all doing? I was just burning the last 15 minutes of the stream looking at assets. Because I've spent the last 3 hours, apparently, doing mesh work, and the spider web finally killed me. Cane palm. Button fern, bracken fern, Boston fern, blue lupin. What's this? I like the names they've given them all. TJ TFINIA 8K specula. It's some kind of a blue flowering plant. Oh, actually, I've seen these leaves before. Very cool. Aha! The banana tree and the Pandeus, this is SM Tree Tropico 2, did not come from Megascans. That's why they're the wrong scale, or the right scale, or the wrong right scale, or the right wrong scale. Who knows? We'll never know which scale was correct. But we know that some of the scales are incorrect. So I guess we're just gonna have to wing it when it comes to the scale of some of these lovely items. What was the pandamus? Mesh. Big pandamus. Alright, it's the right, yeah, one of them. One of them, it's a tree plant. Tropical ground plants? Yes. That's a tropical ground plant, alright. That is a large tropical ground plant, huh? How is everybody? What's everyone doing? You did nothing at your day job, don't we all? No, you actually have to work, but that's on Saturday. Haha. Sounds like you've been played, Lumi. Hey, this water is not bad either. It's quite nice. Doctor signed you off sick for a week. Manage. Please. I feel like the engine's gonna crash. I feel like the stream is gonna crash. Bitrate, don't do this to me. I've been kind to you, Bitrate. Banner is lit. See me late. Oh, what? It. Banner is on. And I didn't get a personal text from Saladin himself. How dare he? Let's get out of landscape mode. Let's move this over here. Lol. Now let's go back into landscape mode. And then we can go into Scorped. Brush size can be like 99. I don't know why it's running so slowly here. I mean, I have a few ideas. Gonna shoot either way, leaving me open on though. Noise. You enjoy banner. I will almost certainly be on banner sometime. Is it because of the materials? Just lighting only. Screw it. Let's make a little Devota. I don't need FPS to build a game. Complete. It was just landscape mode that it was freaking out in. It was weird. Puddle. Yeah. Deal with it. I saw nothing. Let's get some of those pilares in. What about it? Why not? Gonna have ourselves a little vaporwave assembly here. Let's crank this. Mm. It's just very, very relaxing here. Oh, we got this jungle plant going on. Jungle floor cover plant. 24. Something's gone wrong, but it's fine. I think the red error text on our screen is a clue to us what's gone on. Our texture streaming budget has gone over texture streaming budget. So that's something to worry about later. It'll be totally fine, I'm sure. That's pretty relaxing. If you ask me, I'm relaxed. We've had a nice cheeky peek at some extra assets that we have in the project folder that we can use or not use. And it feels good. Is this screen correct, by the way? Details. It seems correct. Scale 1. This is also scale 1, and these are scale 1. That's how big they are. They are just very big. What's this? What's this? Oh. Oh. It's the world grid. Have a cheeky little peek at the old lumen scene. Reflection view, maybe. What? Am I allowed to increase my screen percentage now? Allegedly not. Oh, no, it's fine. Isn't that great? Isn't that just great? Oh, give me chills. It's 8 PM though. So we're going to have to leave the development there for the moment. I say development. We all know the last 10 minutes of this stream is just oogling at the glorious art assets that we have stolen from the internet. So, once again, if you came to watch the development segment of this video, thank you for coming to watch the development segment of this video. Join us in a moment for the gameplay segment of this video, which will be happening shortly, in a moment. In a moment shortly. Thank you.